Hey there, my name is Jevin, and I'm a beginner woodworker, and I've seen a lot of people post on Maker World and printables, different stuff to 3D print for your shop, wood shop. And so I've spent lots of hours just scrolling through, trying to find stuff that would work for me. And so I just wanted to do a quick, really brief tour of not really my shop necessarily, we'll do that, but of the different 3D printed models that I used so you can see how it actually works. I'll link all of the models in the description and you can take a look, and hey, if it's helpful, that's great. So first I'll just orient you into my style that I'm going for working. So I'm kind of bought into this like MFT setup where you put down like bench dogs and you try to really use that for doing your squaring of stuff and for crosscuts. And really the key to that is the track saw. And so once you got a track saw, like I'm really trying to make it so I don't have to get like a table saw and all these different things that would really require me to have a lot more tools and a lot more space. So this is the track saw here. It's the Milwaukee. I'm generally pretty happy with it, and maybe we'll start there. So this is like the arbor cover, and so as I'm trying to figure out my dust extraction, this is just a little 3D printed cover that you can put on, and it just blocks a lot of the dust from coming out. Helps a lot. Of course, if you get dust extraction set up here, and you get this little cover that pulls down, there's gonna be almost no dust at all. Really impressive. Okay, so moving on to the track. So I've got these two track clamps that are track, I don't know, mounts, I guess, with, when I had some extra filaments that I was just crossing over. Anyways, these are printed. Everything here is pretty well printed in PETG, some PLA, but the way that these work is you just kind of like slide them up and over, and then they come down. I just got this new Enjoy Wood track guide, and so it's kind of pushes against the wall, so I'll have to figure out if I want to take it off or not. But these are fantastic just to be able to put them up. Other stuff we'll move on to. So I got these hooks here. The person who made these has two variations for doing hooks. I have probably 30 of these printed off around the shop. You can either have them as a hook on the back, or you can have say if you've got a broom or even a shovel, it'll fit on here really nicely. So this is really my all-purpose hook that I'm using for all kinds of stuff. So here we've got, just my, my little standing stool thing, and just a place if I need to sit down. Great. Let's move on here then. So we got just like this hammer mount. I tried the French Finity thing, and I just found it kind of too much of a hassle than just building kind of French cleat stuff myself. So it's a lot of filament that you have to use to do this like backing piece, where if you do wood, you can just cut it. It takes you 2 minutes to get it all squared up. And then there's so many of these just wall mounted 3D printed stuff. So a lot of these are just not designed, are not necessarily French cleat specific, but they'll be wall mounts, and they just put them on, and I just put them on a piece of wood. So anyways, this was my only, I think, attempt of trying to do something that's French cleat, French Finity. Great idea, but probably just not for me. Here we got the for the multi-tool, just this piece here at the back that has there was an original one, and I think someone else had had changed it just to like push it out, bump it out a little bit more so you can keep a blade on it. And the other thing I want to show maybe here is just trying to figure out a solution so that we can have it locking at the back. So you can see if I'm pulling up my whatever tool I'm trying to pull off the thing, if I didn't have this here, it would just, you can imagine, it would just like kind of get stuck and pull right off. And so this little thing here was one of the different solutions that I saw. You can kind of clip it onto the back or screw it into the back, pop it in here, and it creates just that counter tension, I guess, friction, so that when you pull it up, it doesn't pop off. Had one of these little guys here for putting a, I don't know, staple gun. Didn't seem to work out. Okay, cool. So I've got a bunch of these kind of glove mount clips here. A little bit finicky, but for having them where they're quickly accessible, they're great. These are just old hooks that I had taken off something else. Aha, and one of my other favorite ones here. So this is really for hanging stuff. I had a whole bunch of paracord for a different project that I had lying around the house. So the way this works is you have your paracord, and then you just kind of drop it over the hook here. So this is fantastic for really all kinds of stuff, whether it's going to be for power cords or for hanging like just tubing that's loose. It's great. All you do is you kind of slide the paracord through the bottom. I just tie a knot on each end, and that helps me to do it Cool. So I got this. There's a zip tie holder that is again wall mounted, and I just added a French cleat piece on the back. And then part of the reason why I'm 3D printing stuff is just because I'm not good yet at working with wood at all. And so this is a way that I was able to just kind of play around with wood, experiment how to attach things. Here's like a, you know, half inch. And I was like, how do I connect it? So I put this little thing under it. So anyways, so that's why like most of this stuff is 3D printed. I didn't want to learn woodworking at the same time. So this is just like a little Milwaukee clip for, you know, you just kind of pop in. It's okay. Here we go. So this here, I just, I'll send a link to these. These are great for just putting in any kind of drills or impact drivers. Just pop them in. They can, you know, you can make it nice if you want. I had 3 drills, print the 3 off, and they're fantastic. They get a lot of use. Needed a place for kind of my bench clamps here. I've got 2 different ones here. These are both from, I think these are Banggood, and these are the Milwaukee ones. I like these ones far better. These are like a third of the price compared to these. It takes so long to turn. This is just someone had built, some designed like a Milwaukee for the pack-out style drill stuff. And so that's really nice where if I have a collection of bits that I need to throw somewhere. Okay, my multi-tool. I printed this thing off. It took a long time. It is actually quite a bit of material. And but it seemed to really not be a fit for my reciprocating software for some reason. I don't really know why. So I just add this little block, add some screws at the end, and we're good to go. I just don't take it off because it's in the way for my track saw. Great, these things are super cool. So here to organize all of my different paints and just, you know, other sort of lubricants and stuff that I had hanging around. You print these little hex guys off, and they all kind of fit together really nice. I didn't love the idea of them like protruding like that. I thought it looked kind of messy, but it's actually working really well. It takes just a lot less space, and I could see exactly everything that I have visible. Use it all the time. Cool. So this is a 3D printed kind of towel holder. It's supposed to ratchet, and I think it kind of works, but if I like, so it's nice that it's got a little bit of friction on it. Super easy to change. Just kind of like pop it out. You can pop it over the end. So that seems like a really good option. For my, just have this little hook here for my ear protection. These 2 little, I don't know, cup things. Just I printed a bunch of those off thinking, yeah, it'll be pretty handy to do. Here's like a really nice just bit holder that you can put tons of different stuff in. I'm just adding kind of the stuff that I'm using like all the time, or just stuff that is loose that I want to have visible. So that's kind of nice. That's probably will take forever to fill that out. Here we've got different, I don't know, I can't remember what this is called, but it's like a wrench holder or whatever, some sort of holder there. So these are the medium-sized ones, I think. And I had a bunch of things that just were not big enough. So I need a space for this guy here. But this is the large one, and so that was a lot better for a bunch of my different things that I had. I need a solution for just like my old screwdrivers, you know, that maybe my dad gave me or that were super rusty before. I put all the screwdrivers just through vinegar and then whatever it was, baking soda, I guess, to dissolve that just to get them all clean. And then, yeah, I had a ton of, now I printed off these little guys here. So this is nice. So you can either have it 2 different styles. One is where there's no side cutout here, and this one has a side cutout, which I guess if you've got bigger ones that you need to kind of like slide in, or maybe you're locking, I don't know, but I printed them both off because useful to have. Great. Oh yeah, here's the hanger thing in action. So I have a just a power cable here. You do that, boom, super easy to just throw that on here. Just for my clamps, this is a large one for the DeWalt clamps, and then I had a bunch of small guys, so I was able to use this guy for that one. For my so here's hex for my hex wrenches. I had this set here. I was just kind of sitting around on my lab bench downstairs, but I wanted to hang them up. So this was, someone had just like designed this like maybe a few days even before, and I printed it off. Works fine. For my hold down clamps on my MFTs, it happened to fit perfectly. I've only got 2 that are really used, so might as well have those accessible. These here, just for all kind of my some bench dog accessories, and this one printed out here for, yeah, just my my track saw blades. So that's most of that stuff. And then quickly here in my drawers, I've got just started doing some Gridfinity stuff for just screws. I wanted to have them all kind of organized. I do have some Milwaukee pack out, but this is great just for like different odds and ends. If I've got a little project going on, I'll just like grab this guy here, throw it onto my worktop here, and that way if I've got any extra screws or any little pieces, I can kind of keep them together. And in this case, I just had them like, oh, might as well keep them. And then here, two different things going on. Just again, I had another drawer, so I just cleaned that out. I've got just a bunch of Gridfinity, so I have it for the just for the what are they called? Not T-blades, just for the reciprocating saw blades, and then some miscellaneous ones. And I started to organize all of my socket sets. So I had this old socket set here. I think my dad gave me. I think it's from my grandpa. And just I got them all kind of cleaned up, but I need a place to kind of organize them and see them. And so I'm just starting to print out like the right sizes. I've got half of it done, and I'll link to those there. And then I got some other stuff. So that's kind of the long and short of it. I think it's kind of it. Hopefully it's helpful. This is kind of just a way to give back because I didn't build anything for this project really. That's it. Cheers.